Hey everyone, this is Atomic Rooster 77, and this is the LA Noire game overview. It is May 16, 2011. The time is 12:18. Today we are talking about LA Noire from Rockstar Games in association with Team Bondi. Could this be the most anticipated game of 2011? Well, first off, let's answer a bunch of questions. It's probably wondering through your minds, like, what is LA Noire? LA Noire is the latest title from Rockstar Games, produced by Team Bondi, a company operating out of Sydney, Australia. LA Noire takes place in Los Angeles around 1947. The player will portray Cole Phelps, a World War II veteran turned police officer working for the Los Angeles Police Department. He starts off as a patrolman, and then he works his way up to the forward desk as a detective, including traffic, homicide, vice, and arson. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Rockstar Games' track record, Rockstar Games, of course, they're known for the most controversial yet highly successful gaming franchise of, like the Grand Theft Auto series. Well, unlike GTA, in which you play a criminal, in LA Noire, you play on the right side of the law. In this case, you play a Los Angeles 1940s detective, Cole Phelps. What you get to do in this game is very unconventional. Like I said, you will start off as a rookie police officer or a beat cop, what have you. He goes around the city. Of course, he will have a partner. They'll look for any kind of crimes that take place. The gameplay elements of LA Noire, since you play a detective, is that you basically have to go over a crime scene looking for clues. Also, once you find a clue, it will open an inquiry to the case, meaning like you'll give you like some kind of lead in which you will have to interview and interrogate witnesses as well as suspects. You have to tell the difference between whether the suspect or the witness is telling the truth or telling a lie based on the information that they give you. But not only that, you have to watch the witness or the suspect's facial expressions, like if they're squinting, to determine whether they're telling the truth or telling a lie. Plus, your character will carry a journal, in which gives you the player an idea how to answer the correct question. Because if you ask the correct question, based on the responses that you're given from the suspect or the witness, if you ask the right question, and if you choose one of the three responses, which are truth, doubt, and lie, you may be able to solve the case much faster. But if you answer the wrong question, you could shut down the suspect or the witness, and they will refuse to answer any more questions, leaving you without vital information which you need to use to close the case much faster. After you solve about the 5 cases from each desk, you'll get promoted to the next desk. In this case, you'll go from patrol to homicide. And homicide, my mistake, you actually go from patrol to traffic. Now the traffic desk, I believe, has to do with automobile related crimes, like hit and run or car theft, and you had to investigate what could have also car accidents too. You had to investigate what may have caused the incident. Another element, gameplay element in LA Noire is the ability to, as you're driving, there are unassigned cases in which there are basically these random events that occur, just like in LA, with LA Noire, the previous game that came out last year, Red Dead Redemption. As you're traveling New Austin, you'll have people, like you would have people come up to you asking for your assistance. Well, in LA Noire, you'll actually get a call from the police station indicating, would say there's like a robbery in progress or some kind of a public menace going about. You could actually take the case, in which of course it could involve like a shootout, like let's say at a bank. You solve the shootout by basically taking out the suspects. One thing I also like to discuss too is that Team Bondi, the company based off of Sydney, Australia, is using a technology called motion scan, in which 32 digital cameras are positioned in the studio, in which they'll actually have real actors in which they are seated, and only that they're being captured, what's being captured is their facial expressions, their heads. So every twitch, sneer, or any facial expression will actually be recorded. The actor actually had to sit in a seat without moving their entire body except for their head. And they have actually used 400 real actors, including Aaron Staton from TV's Mad Men. You know, the guy who played Ken Cosgrove. He plays Cole Phelps in LA Noire. The actors are then filmed the second time, in which, you know, their body motion is actually being captured. The reason why it is believed the reason why Team Bondi did this is so that they had to keep the fact that they had to keep the head animations. They had to capture the actors' heads first, and then capture the body movements. So otherwise, the motion capture of the animation wouldn't even work. Question might arise is, how do you play LA Noire? Again, when you play LA Noire, since it's a third-person detective story, a crime thriller, there are actually real crimes. They're actually based on real crimes, especially the most unsolved crime, which remains unsolved today, the infamous Black Dahlia case. You can watch films and you can do your own research about the Black Dahlia case. You can do it on your own. But back to how you play LA Noire. The gameplay elements include investigating and interrogating witnesses and suspects, exploring the crime scene for clues, and you can also use those clues to get any information out of the suspects or witnesses to help you close the case much faster. Also, you're driving around Los Angeles back in 1947, in which back then there were no freeways. Team Bondi accurately, painstakingly recreated Los Angeles after World War II to create the look and authenticity. But another gameplay element, of course, is driving. Whether you're driving around town, or if you're driving to catch a suspect behind the wheel, like let's say like an automobile shootout. Another gameplay element, of course, is shooting and fighting. the game is would appear to be pretty linear. So I'm sorry, linear. Other people ask, what will be in LA Noire and what will not be in LA Noire? LA Noire, just like Grand Theft Auto, of course, will actually have its own radio stations. Actually, it's more strict since to build the mood of the period. Of course, you're going to be hearing lots of jazz. Like jazz musicians playing. Of course, you won't hear any hip hop, of course, or any rock, because those genres of music didn't come out yet. And since it's 1947, don't expect to hear music like that. Now, what won't be in LA Noire are, of course, the fact that, since like in GTA, you know how it is that you can just pop anyone you want. So since you're playing a detective in LA Noire, you are on the right side of the law, which means you cannot kill innocents. But if you do kill them, just to say, if you do kill them unintentionally or purposely and stuff, of course, you'll be punished for it. But then, of course, it's also the case with GTA if you get caught by the police. But, of course, there'd be certain types of repercussions that would arise. Also, LA Noire unfortunately, will not have multiplayer. Now, of course, this sets lots of gamers off and they end up reneging or they deter. They basically decide not to purchase LA Noire. My suggestion is that they could at least rent LA Noire, just give it a chance. But the reason why LA Noire, of course, won't have multiplayer is the fact that Team Bondi, the people at Team Bondi believed that since they were much more focused on the narrative of the game LA Noire, they felt that they were technologically limited, and of course they were on a budget and a schedule. So they felt it was unnecessary to add the multiplayer element, just like in most of the previous Rockstar games, Grand Theft Auto 4 and Red Dead Redemption, in which multiplayer would have been an active selling point for the game. Another thing you will also know is that the differences between the PlayStation 3 version and the Xbox 360 version is this. For those who are purchasing LA Noire for the Xbox 360, bear in mind that the Xbox 360 version of LA Noire is going to actually be packaged on 3 discs. Since the game is so big, it is believed that the gamer will actually may have to switch disc. I'm not sure, like if you're entering certain parts of the city, like if you have to take one disc out and put the other one in just so you can continue with the game, of course.